Big lead story over there at the Drudge Report. Want to hear this one? IRS official in charge during Tea Party targeting now runs healthcare office, as reported by ABC News. The Internal Revenue Service official in charge of the tax-exempt organizations at the time when the unit targeted Tea Party groups now runs the IRS office responsible for the healthcare legislation. I'm telling you, folks, it's corrupt through and through. Through and through. All this changing things on the fringes and on the edges, and we're going to hold hearings. It's all bullcrap. There needs to be a bill introduced right now. The discussion needs to begin right now on whether we, the people, want an Internal Revenue Service, a department of our government like this, which lies, which politicizes, which imposes its will on we, the people. We, the people. Sarah Hall Ingram served as commissioner of the office responsible for tax-exempt organizations between 2009 and 2012. But Ingram has since left that part of the IRS and is now the director of the IRS Affordable Care Act office, the IRS confirmed to ABC News today. Her successor, Joseph Grant, is taking the fall for misdeeds as the scandal-plagued unit between 2010 and 2012. During at least part of that time, Grant served as deputy commissioner of the tax-exempt unit. Grant announced today that he would retire on June 3rd, despite being appointed as commissioner of the tax-exempt office on May 8th, just a week ago. So the rats are jumping the ship. Now, that said, let me underscore this for you. The lady who was responsible for tax-exempt organizations between 2009 and 2012, when the Tea Party and other conservatives were being specifically targeted for abuse by the federal government through the Internal Revenue Service, is now the director of the IRS Affordable Care Act office. You heard it here first. But don't worry, Barack Obama has appointed Jack Lew, the Treasury Secretary, to fix all of this. And the fix is in, let me tell you. The fix is in. As if to rub our noses in it. As if to rub our faces in it. How much more are we going to put up with this? I want to remind you, I know it's a quaint notion, maybe it's an old idea. This government, folks, belongs to us. We own this thing. These people, these so-called representatives, they answer to us. This is all upside down. This is all screwed up. And they go through the motions of acting like they care. They go through the motions of acting like they're really amazed at what's going on. The IRS has been doing this for decades. And they don't rein it in. The IRS must be dismantled. You see, folks, the federal government can still get trillions of dollars with a flat tax or a fair tax. But they like the IRS because the IRS makes you nervous, doesn't it? You get a letter with the IRS address on it. You go, oh, my God, and you start to shake. And they want you to feel the same exact way when you get one of their health care letters. Uh-oh, what now? What are they denying me? What are they denying me? What are they doing to me? And then they've got you. You're the subject. We don't have to have an Internal Revenue Code like we have today. Who says we do? We don't have to be shaking every time we get a letter from this agency. Why should we? We don't have to put up with these a-holes in Congress, many of them, who keep pretending that they're looking out for us when they're not doing any such thing. And we can turn off the TV or radios when we hear people going on and on about here how we are right-wing extremists and racists and all the rest, to put up with this bullcrap. The people who are nullifying the Constitution, the people who are nullifying our unalienable rights, the people who are nullifying our private property rights are the statists and the neo-statists. The Democrat Party is the party of big, centralized, bloated, authoritarian government. And as I've written and as I've said repeatedly, the Democrat Party and the federal government are one and the same. They need each other. They nurture each other. So when the Democrats control the federal government, they expand it. Healthcare, IRS, whatever it is, they expand it. So the government becomes more and more powerful. When the Republicans control the government, they expand it too. Just less so, you know. But nobody is rolling it back. And then when you talk about it, people say, oh, you're immoderate. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's going to be more scandals because scandal what we have here is really institutionalized corruption. That's the nature of big government. I mean, I want you to think about the billions and billions of dollars wasted on so-called green energy and green jobs. Nobody's been held to account for that. That's your money. They're borrowing more and more money. You know, your children, this is going to fall on their heads. There aren't any green jobs. There aren't any green companies created by the federal government. Why is the federal government even in this business? Why? Because the status insists on it. And they persuade more and more people that we have to do this in order to have clean air. This has nothing to do with clean air. This has nothing to do with clean water. Ladies and gentlemen, it's carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide plants need to create oxygen. Without carbon dioxide, we're dead. Well, there's too much of it. No, there's not. That's like saying there's too much water vapor. That's a greenhouse gas as well. Did you know that? Oh, yes, that water vapor, there's too damn much of it. They push us, they bully us, they pull us, they torment us, they concoct these arguments. They bastardize science. They reject knowledge and evidence. They're just dragging us and the entire country over the cliff. It's like this whole argument about class warfare. Class warfare is an attack on liberty. If you're an individual and you've scraped and you've worked and you've come up with an idea and other people like it and they're willing to pay you for your product or your service and you hire more people and you're paid more and you hire more and more people and you're paid more and more and more and you become filthy rich, that's a good thing. It used to be. Now it's, wait a minute, you don't need all that. Since when does a free government tell its citizens that it doesn't need this, that, or the other, which those citizens have created on their own? The government doesn't have that authority under our Constitution. We hear the same thing when it comes to the Constitution itself, the Second Amendment. We actually have had a debate for 3 or 4 months over what we need under the Second Amendment. And as I've said repeatedly, it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. The very government that those Bill of Rights were created to protect us from is trying to tell us we don't need those Bill of Rights. And now the media, they're upset because this same government has apparently targeted one media outlet, the biggest of the big, the Associated Press, and scores of their journalists by tapping their phones, by intercepting their communications on their cell phones, private and work cell phones, because the government says it was tracking down a leak. So it threw a very wide net, wider than was necessary, in my view, wider than it's ever been done before. I worked for an attorney general. I don't remember this. An assault, quite frankly, on freedom of the press. This administration has assaulted, I believe, every part of the First Amendment. Freedom of the press, free speech, free exercise of religion, freedom of association. This administration has attacked the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. That would be an individual, the right for the individual to bear arms. This administration has all but gutted the whole notion of federalism under the 10th Amendment, and it's even more than the 10th Amendment. It's the basis of our founding. The notion that we would have a diversified governmental structure, so there wouldn't be a centralized, all-powerful authority. That's what the framers feared the most. They just fought a revolution to defeat that. This administration attacks the states that are trying to clean up its voting lists, trying to require individuals to show a photo ID, the same photo ID you're required to show when you go through the federal TSA agents to get on an airplane or you buy a six-pack at a 7-Eleven. All of a sudden, wait a minute, that's a poll tax. What are you talking about? Poll tax. It's a photo ID, you idiot. The Attorney General of the United States in federal court fighting it tooth and nail. Why? I'll tell you why. Because like everything else they do, they want to corrupt the electoral process. They want to destroy the franchise, not protect it. They go into court and they fight Arizona and Alabama and Georgia and South Carolina and Texas. Because why? Because they want to protect their citizens, legitimate American citizens, citizens of their states. They want to protect them from open borders. They want to protect them from illegal aliens. They want to protect their budgets and their taxes. And what are they told by the federal government? You can't. You can't. And the federal government refuses to do it itself. We the people, this entire enterprise we call the American Republic, was established by we the people, for we the people. Not for the ethnic front groups, not for the labor unions, not for corporatists, Not for the politicians who claim to represent us, not for the big fat bureaucracy, not for the Internal Revenue Service. We own this country, and we own the government, and it's time we remember it, because I'm tired of being treated like a subject. I'm tired of hearing the dumbest vice president in world history going on and on about skin in the game. The man who deducts everything, makes $3,000 in contributions, who's been on the public dole his entire life. I'm tired of being told by a community organizer who spent his days with domestic terrorists, palling around with radical forces that sought to undermine this nation, telling us what's in the Declaration of Independence. I'm tired of that, too. And I'm tired of this Congress that spits out 1,000-page bills like it's no tomorrow, telling us how they're going to secure the border and fix everything once and for all, because they're not. They won't even fix the IRS, will they? I'm sorry. It's time to address these things forthrightly.